Hi everyone. So welcome to the July Masterclass with the amazing Chloe Slade. I'm going to be talking all about money mindset. So Chloe is just an amazing mindset and manifestation coach. So I'm going to leave it to her to introduce herself and just tell her about all the magic things she does and what we're going to be covering today.
Oh, thanks for that intro. Do you know what? I've never actually mastered introducing myself. I kind of change each time. Normally people have a nice spiel. I just like to go straight in with the fact that obviously I'm a mindset and manifestation coach coming from like a really actionable side of things. I think if the action isn't in place, then it's hard to actually embody and implement. And obviously it's that embodiment that's actually going to show you results. So with today's training, I have tried to really tailor it for meeting everyone where they're at right now, but also something that someone can come in later at a later day and can just come in. So I'm a manifestation mindset coach. I am such a foodie. My whole weekend has just been cooking and eating food, and my partner has cooked some really great Italian food this weekend as well. I'm a dog mom, so that's kind of like my main things. My main passions. I think today it's going to be really good because as I've said before, we're going to grab our journals out and we're going to start really implementing it. There's kind of 3 sections that I want to go through today. I'm going to go through some money quick wins just so we can get that like momentum kind of going first of all. And I'll also add in some prompts as we go. So it's going to be very interactive, very sort of, let's do it now. Let's not put it off. Let's do it in this moment. So first of all, I'm sure you've probably heard that money is energy, and what we need to do, therefore, to attract money into our life, as we are also energetic beings, everything is energy, is match that energetic frequency. So often, when you're not manifesting the money you want, it's nothing about you, it's not about your capability, it's not about your worth, which a lot of us love to tie it into. It's just coming down to the vibration and what we're actually vibrating at. So what I want you to do today is actually have a little think and think, okay, based on my current money goal and my money situation right now in this moment, do they match? And does my energetic frequency, the sort of thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs, which we're going to go into in depth, do they match? And that's kind of the focus of today. So what you believe about money, what you think about money, what you feel around money, the way you act, this is your energetic presence. And combining that with your self-image around money, that's what's dictating the results. Like I said, it's not about whether you are or are not worthy. It's just the energetic presence, the vibration that you're vibrating at. So what I want you to really think about is, right now, how's money showing up in my life? And does that reflect the image that I hold around money? Do you think you're someone who's good with money? Do you think you're someone who's bad with money? Do you think you're someone who manifests or creates or magnetizes in money with ease and joy or flow? Or do you think it's quite hard? From someone who comes from a very working class background, I had the beliefs that money had to be hard, and not even just hard to manifest or make. It had to be sort of to the point of exhaustion. If you weren't really grinding the stone, so to speak, then you weren't going to manifest the money. And obviously, coming again from that kind of background, you want the money because you want to do the things and feel secure and all of these things that money actually comes with. But it's kind of that sort of vicious cycle, because the energy that I was putting out prior to doing all this manifestation work was of, I'm not worthy of money, I'm not good with money, money's hard to make, am I even capable? Oh, it's possible for her, but is it possible for me? There was quite a lot of resentment in my own money story. And I really want you to think about your money goal right now and what comes up when you first start to think about it. I'm going to ask you that question again, but I want you to start thinking about it now. So we've got the image, we've got our thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs. We know that the money is attracting based on our vibration. But there's one point I really want to make, and that is your money blueprint. And your money blueprint kind of ties all of this together, because whatever your money blueprint or your money ceiling, there's loads of different ways you can call it, your money story, they're all kind of synonymous to the same thing. Your money blueprint is how money comes into your life. Again, this all comes back to the way you see yourself in regards to money. It's all about the way your energetic presence is. But it's basically your blueprint. Now, what this blueprint means, unless you change it, you could win a crazy amount of life-changing money. And the money blueprint would mean you still act in accordance to that old way of dealing with money. So you'd maybe not feel safe around it. You may get rid of it. Now, what I want you to think about now is, have you ever suddenly made a lot of money and somehow bills come in and unexpected payments and all of these different things keep coming up? What is it for you? What is your money blueprint? I really want you to start thinking about this. We're going to go in depth today, but I really want you to have this on your mind. Now, my last point before we really delve into this interactive presence and journey today is, what do you want it to be? Now, you know what it is. You're starting to get an idea about what it is. What would you like it to be? And that's what we're going to work through today. So I want this to be quick and speedy to a certain degree. I don't want you to overthink it. I don't want you to try and get absolutely everything onto paper. I just want you to get whatever comes up onto paper, okay? So I want you to grab out your journal and I want you to write down the money goal that you have. So whatever it is that you want to manifest, and you might think, well, is that in a day? Is that in a month? Is that in a year? It's completely up to you. You're dictating it. So you take a moment. I really want you to feel into this now as well. Like, if you're not sure, and I have this with a few of my clients, they don't know what it is that they want to manifest in terms of money. They don't know how to pick that number out. I want you to close your eyes for just a second, put your hands on your heart. I just want you to take a nice deep breath here. And I want you just to think of a number that feels intuitively right for you. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and write that down. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just write that number down now. Now, as you write that number down, I want you to actually start writing down how you felt. So maybe you felt excited. Maybe you felt, oh, how is that going to happen? Maybe you felt like, oh, this is scary. Oh, this is exciting. This is fun. You might have a mixture. What feelings came up for you when you thought or wrote down that money goal? Maybe it's feelings of scarcity, unworthiness, inability to greed. Okay, greed is a great one. Get it all down. You might feel that there's a mixture of feelings coming up now as well. It might be like, oh, this is exciting, this feels possible, or it doesn't feel possible. A lot of the time, when you're setting a new money goal, you might feel like you're limboing in between, because you're limboing in between two versions of you, right? So you might think, oh, this is possible, or it's not possible. I don't know how this is going to happen. Or this is going to be great. This is going to really happen for me. This is never going to happen for me. So you might feel like you're in an almost limbo. Hopefully, have done it before, but harder now, scary. Yeah, so this is a great one, because this is where the money blueprint's coming in even more, because you've maybe pushed your money manifestation muscle, so to speak, past what you thought was possible, and the blueprint is bringing you back down, because it's like, no, that's not the money you make this level of money, that's way too much. We're going to go through it today, so it's not a problem, but that's basically what's happening. Is you've stretched that money manifestation muscle, and the self-image or that you hold, or the beliefs or the blueprint, the kind of collective, is pulling you back. It's almost like an elastic band is trying to pull it back. Now, you can just stretch the elastic band and it will have a bigger impact, but what's happening is you're kind of coming back to that smaller blueprint. The number that you came up with was less than you would have initially thought you would like. That's also not a problem, because if you're intuitively calling it through, there is no limit to how much money you can manifest, right? So if you decide, okay, let's say just pull out a number out of my head. Say if you're like, right, I want to make £5,000 this month, and you were like, oh, I thought it was going to be like 7. There's nothing to stop you from getting to that £5,000 and going, actually, I'd like to manifest a bit more. It's the limitations that we put on ourselves. Equally, it might be that amount achieves what you want to achieve. So there's no right or wrong with this. You can always change, you can always add, but it's basically what you feel intuitively called to do. recently I actually reduced my goal of the money I wanted to manifest. And I was like, okay, it's really weird because I want to hit this goal and this is my bigger goal, but I'm going to set the smaller goal. And because I kind of had less resistance to that bigger goal, or that the next goal I set, I actually hit that next goal because I had less resistance. I wasn't making all these stories up. What I've done in the past is I've gone, right, I want to make X amount. And because X amount felt so far and scary and intangible to me, I kind of pull back on everything. So I didn't even hit the minimum. Whereas sometimes it depends on how your mind works, depends on what your money blueprint is. But what can really happen, or what can really help, is if you just set that goal and then build on it. That is literally the biggest thing that really helped for me, is you can always add, you can always change, you can always add in. I feel like it's been you recently. Yeah, because here's the thing, right? When we go, right, I want to set this big scary goal, it stretches our self-image and our sort of energy so much that we start to create resistance. Now, I don't know if anyone can resonate here, but one thing that I did when I set such a it wasn't even a goal that I could or couldn't hit, it just felt scary. So when I was doing this exercise personally, and I recommend doing this exercise like monthly, quarterly, and I did this exercise, and I just felt so much resistance, and I was like, how is that even possible? This feels like it's going to be a lot of work. And I had to, like I said, take it off the pedestal, set a goal that felt more like ease to me. And then naturally, when I hit that quicker, I could build on it. So there's no right or wrong. Really, really feeling into the goal, first of all. That's why I got you to close your eyes for a moment, because your higher self is guiding you through that intuition, right? So your higher self might go, right, well, to hit that like 7K month next month, we need to be hitting this 5K goal now, and then you'll build on that next month. It might just be like, in order to hit that bigger goal, you need to be doing this right now, right? We attach so much meaning in it. Always, like, this is what I find with months and money, is that we put so much meaning into that 1 month, and then when we don't hit that goal, we're like, oh, I'm so bad at this is never going to happen for me. Just because it didn't happen this month doesn't mean it can't happen next month, right? And what I see a lot as well is people checking out midway through the month. Oh, I haven't hit my goal yet, I'm nowhere near my goal. Like, say if your goal was at 5,000, you hadn't met 2,500 yet, you're like, well, it's never going to happen then, is it? And you kind of pull back, and then you kind of self-sabotage in that way. It's holding the energy and holding the focus. Literally on the last day, two things happened, right? So 1 month, not so long ago, I checked out. I literally was like, oh, it's never going to happen. And I literally was like 1 pound off my goal. And I just felt to myself, I was very happy and grateful, but I was also like, if I hadn't have checked out, I probably would have gone further. And then another story that is, again, not so long ago, it was on the last month, some unexpected payment came in and just like hit that goal. So you've got to you've got to set the money goal, but you've also got to detach the meaning, and is that fine line. But I do recommend, like we are just saying, to set like that midway goal, which can help you build. So we're writing down all these feelings, and exactly, yeah, it's not over. It's not over to start these things. Yeah, it's not over. We've got to hold that focus and that energy. And you know what? If we start checking out on our business, there's no way that anyone's going to be checking into our energy, right? So if we're like, well, that's it, it's the 15th and I haven't hit this goal yet, and imagine how much of your year you're wasting if you do that a few times. I think we're all guilty of this, but I definitely am. I've definitely checked out of a month sooner than I need to. And we check out because we attach the feeling of hard. We go, oh, it's going to be hard to hold this focus, or it's going to be hard to hit that goal. If we literally are like, okay, well, I haven't hit the goal yet, that's fine. What would it look like if it were easy? Okay, well, maybe I'd talk about this promotion, or maybe I talk about that this very morning. And this has been a crazy month for me, right? Like, it's not financially, I mean, like in general life, it's just been a crazy month for me. And I was sitting there, I was like, right, I just want this week to be ease-led. I want to do the things that I've got planned. I'm not going to add in anything else. I was just sitting there having my morning coffee. The minute I released resistance, this idea came to me, and it just like flowed out of me, and something that probably would have taken like 2 days last week literally took me at 20 minutes. I know that sounds like a really crazy thing, but when you're energetically aligned, you start to feel that momentum. So when you're writing down your feelings, the next thing I want you to write up is what like thoughts came up. So your feelings would be things like, oh, this feels tough, this feels exciting, this feels scary. The thoughts might be, well, I haven't enough Instagram followers. Instagram's quiet right now. I haven't got a lot of people on my list. No one's replying to my stories. This is the thoughts that are coming up. This is the narrative that you're creating for yourself, right? So I want you just to write down what thoughts came up when you set that money goal. I'm going to take a sip of water. What you might think is, I don't know what thoughts came up. No thoughts came up for me. Now, if no thoughts came up for you, it means one of two things. Maybe you're very mindful and nothing came up, but maybe you're avoiding the actual thoughts, or you're avoiding the actual goal. So I've done this recently where I just kept myself busy and numb because it made me feel, I guess, more at ease. When I sat down, I literally looked at the goal and I was like, what do I think of this goal? What thoughts are coming up? It might be something you actually need to literally stare at on a piece of paper and go, what thoughts are coming up for me now? Might be get one or two, you might get loads. It changes. That's why I say doing this quarterly or monthly is very powerful. So you've got your feelings, you've got your thoughts. Now, in relation to this goal, I want you to think about what action you've recently been taking or inaction. So have you held back? Have you not showed up online because it feels quiet, or it feels scary, or it feels insert here? What action or inaction have you been doing or not doing? Maybe you're starting to see a pattern here. It's funny what comes up for you when you start to see this actually on paper, which is why I wanted you to physically see it. So we've got our feelings, we've got our action, we've got our thoughts. You might see a pattern here. We're now looking at our beliefs. Can you identify or see any patterns from looking at what you've written so far? Can you see any patterns? Maybe it's a worthiness pattern. Maybe it's a making things hard pattern. Maybe it's a lack of clarity pattern, right? I'm all or nothing, either really showing up or not. Yeah, so what does that, can you see any beliefs or patterns there? Maybe it's a safety thing. Maybe it's like well, if I don't actually go all in, then I can't get disappointed. Or maybe it's an energy thing of the energy has to be looked after in order to sustain. You'll start to see, when you write it down, you'll start to kind of get into a bit of a routine where you see the patterns as they're formulating. And this is why reflection in money manifestation is so powerful, because without that reflection, you keep repeating the same money patterns, which is the blueprint, right? When you start to see the patterns, you can start to see how that's fitting in your blueprint. You can change the blueprint by actively acting out of your pattern. So what I see a lot at the moment is, there's a narrative of whatever's going on online or the world or whatever. So people start acting from that place. And the subconscious mind is very powerful. It works very powerfully with suggestion. The power of suggestion is like crazy insane. So if you or people around you keep going, quiet online, isn't it? No sales. Quiet online, isn't it? No sales. Your subconscious mind goes, okay, quiet online, no sales. I'm going to act in alignment consciously and subconsciously to make sure that that's the result that I'm getting, right? I've been quiet recently as taking it easy, as scared of getting overwhelmed. Yeah, and you know what, with that, there's the difference between just taking a break, which is fully valid, fully great, or holding back because maybe you're uninspired because you don't know what to post, or you're scared of what's going on online, or you're just feeling very overwhelmed, or maybe just uninspired. All of these different things, what you want to do is go, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling. What is it creating out? What is it creating outward? Because personally, I've taken, like I said, I've taken this week of ease because I need a week of ease, right? I want to show up for my clients. I want to do the things that I've got planned. I don't want to add anything else in. That's absolutely fine. It's when you start to see the pattern of you wanting to show up, but not because of something scary or something else. business with everything, family, life, and accountability to others, accountability to you, to your courses. I'm doing all good, but other things on to-do list get left out. Yeah, and with those things on the to-do list, I would just look at them. And one of the things I like to do when I'm super overwhelmed is create literally a brain dump, because typically the money flowing to me has a correlation between how much is going on. Because here's the thing, right? If you are tired and you're overwhelmed and you're stressed out and you're trying to call in more clients or you're trying to call in more work, it doesn't matter what you put out there. You could be putting killer content out there, you could be putting the most amazing things out there, but if you're tired and overwhelmed, subconsciously you can't take on any more clients or any more work, because you need that break. You know, if I was like, right, I'm so tired and I'm replying to people and I can't take on any more clients, if I'm saying that subconsciously and then I go online and I'm like, hey, here's some spaces, it doesn't matter what's going out, because energetically I can't take on anymore, for example, right? And this is something that I come back to, because if energetically you are not aligned, it comes back to that energetic presence thing again. It doesn't matter what you're putting out. If you're not looking after your own energy and you can't take on any more work or any more clients, you're not going to get those clients, right? Okay, so we've done thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs. Now, what I want you to start looking at, a separate page, is I want you to start this. So what we did there is we looked at your money manifestation goal. We broke it down to thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs, and where they're currently operating from. Now, what I would like you to do is I want you to start thinking, what thoughts would serve me? So it doesn't matter what you've written so far or how you're currently feeling, what thoughts around money would serve you? So if you wrote, for example, in the first part that money feels really hard to make, then maybe flipping that, you might write something down like, money feels really effortless for me to make. Money feels really easy for me to make. And you might look at that and go, oh, that's throwing up some stuff there, because that insinuates that I haven't worked for the money, or that, it shouldn't be easy for me. And then you can delve into that deeper. So you can start to go, okay, this is how I'm currently feeling. This is how I'm currently thinking, acting. And you can start to compare this with what would be a better, higher state. Now, the former is you acting from a place of circumstance, what's going on in your world, whatever it may be. The latter is operating from a place of vision. It's operating from a place of what you want. So what thoughts would serve you? Oh, I love making money. Oh, money feels really good to me. Making money feels really good to me right now. Oh, I attract some soulmate clients that get it. I attract some soulmate clients that respect my boundaries, right? I attract in people that are so aligned with me, and it feels like such a joy to work with. We've got to really look at those thoughts. I am open to money making opportunities. Money's flowing to me in multiple ways. So really coming back to those thoughts, what thoughts would serve you to have? Like imagine like you've gone to I know Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore, but let's just stick with it. You've gone to the Mind Blockbuster and you're looking at all the programs you could go home and watch and take in. What would you be picking up? Right? You see a whole shelf. Oh, I'm going to take the money as easy. I'm going to take the money as effortless. I'm going to take that money is fun for me to make, that I attract money through having fun. I attract money through working with soulmate clients. What programs would you be picking off the shelf, right? This is where the thoughts come in. If you can't identify the thoughts you want to have, this is the block, right? If you can't clearly write down the thoughts you'd like to have, then that's where I would start. Understand, okay, maybe you could think of 3 or 4, but you can't get past that. So maybe you need to spend some work there and really understanding what thoughts you want to have around money. Because if you don't know the thoughts that you want to have, then you can't think them. If you can think them, then you can start to have them, you start to work towards thinking that on a more active state. And I'm a big fan of, once I get a thought that I'd like to be thinking, I like to put it around my space. I like to put it on my mirror. I like to put it next to my bed, my desk. spark having that thought, you know, money is easy for me to make. Okay, what would that actually look like? Your mind starts to think about it. The next one I'd like you to think about is the feelings. What feelings would serve you to have around money? So maybe feeling very secure, very calm, very grounded, activated. Now, I do actually say personally, is I don't really say motivated anymore, because I found that I was motivated by negative things. So I actually say activated instead of motivated now. So it's really being intentional about the words that you're using and the feelings that you want to feel. So maybe you want to feel excited. What feelings would serve you? I really want you to think about this now. I'm going to take a sip of water. Sharing a bit of mine, I like to feel excited, activated, energized, calm, grounded. These are just some of the things that I know if I feel and I embody, it will help me. And another thing you can think about if you struggle with this is, how do you feel when money comes into your life? So when money comes in, you get that little payment notification, how do you feel? Do you feel like energized? Suddenly very active? Because the way you feel when money comes into your life, if you can start creating a recipe for feeling that on a more dominant basis, attracting the money will become more of a natural result. Feelings are a very powerful part of money manifestation, because what you might do, and manifestation as a whole, is a big part of my manifestation method. And the reason why is because, say you want to be feeling very secure, right? There's lots of elements that come into making you feel secure. Money is just one of them, right? Taking money off a pedestal for a second, for you to feel secure, it's not just about money, right? It's having money, it's about having the environment, it's about having people around you that support that make you feel safe and secure. So the reason why I say get very clear on the feeling is because it really ripples out into the rest of your life as well. So we've done our thoughts, we've done our feelings. What actions would serve you? Now, I don't want you to overwhelm yourself here. This is not like absolutely every single thing you could possibly do to make money. I want you to really intuitively think about this. So maybe it looks like just getting a few simple standards in. Maybe every other day, or maybe 3 to 4 times a week, you invite the sale. And what I mean by invite the sale is you literally say something about what it is that you do, and then you actually give that pay link, you know, the click here, or the link in bio, or the link in the emailer, or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe that's an action that would serve you. Maybe creating a new offering, maybe taking a break. You know, remember what I was just saying about being energetically aligned? What actions or action would best serve you? Again, this is not about overwhelming your plate. This is not about making this massive to-do list. You might think of 1 or 2. Absolutely great. You know, actions, it's not about the action that you take, it's about the action being aligned with the result you want and being energetically in the right place. So your action will actually go further when it comes to money manifestation when you are in a good energy. So if you're creating something that feels so good and you're just like, oh my God, I love this. Not, oh my God, I need to think of something to make money. I know that's tempting, but what feels like it's burning through me? And if it's not burning through you, then what I recommend doing is taking the break and getting inspired. They're the key things there. So then moving on, we've got what beliefs would serve you. Okay, very similar to thoughts, but thoughts are more things that you think of quite a lot. You know, like, so for example, one of the thoughts that I have now that I identified, you know, way before when I was starting to do this money work is, you know, what ways and which ways of income am I aligned with right now? That's an active thought that I start thinking about. Whereas a belief would be more about who I am and what that looks like. So it might be something like, I am a natural moneymaker, for example. What beliefs would serve you? I'm always making money. There's always money making opportunities around me. Something that I really embody, and this extends into money, but other areas of my life, is I always find a way to thrive. Not survive, not just do. I always find a way to thrive. It's just who I am. That's literally a belief that I will say to myself constantly. Just who I am. Again, this doesn't have to be a list as long as your arm, right? This just needs to be a few core beliefs that you come back to. I actually recommend in the beliefs front, it's because remember, beliefs have to be really embodied. I wouldn't, again, actually the beliefs here, I wouldn't actually try and create too many things. Just think about what if you truly believed, whatever it is, if you truly believed it, would it have a ripple effect on your life? So that example that I just used of, I am someone who thrives, I always find a way of thriving. That's a core belief that I will affirm to myself. I'll literally be like shouting and I'll be like saying to myself, I'll be walking down the street. I am magnetic, might be another one. I'm magnetic to all things good. Money is something that's good, right? It's really, really playing with that energy now. And what I want you to do with these beliefs after today is I want you to write out a few core ones. Maybe there's 3, 5, whatever it may be. And I want you to get up your phone and I want you to get the voice memo app. I don't know if it's different on Android, but get the voice memo app. And I want you to record yourself saying it. But before you do that, I want you to get in a good energy. So go dancing, go and sunbathe, have a shower, take a walk, cook something nice, make a cup of coffee, whatever. Get yourself into that good energy, really feel that energy, really relax. Maybe you want to do a meditation, whatever makes you feel good. And when you're in that good energy, then record yourself saying these new beliefs. And then what you're going to do is play that as often as you can. I'm not going to say every day because that just adds something else to the to-do list, but you just want to play it as often as you can, okay? So we're now moving on to the plan of inspired action. So what I want us to do right now is we've looked at so far, so just to recap, we've looked at, what our money goal is, what we feel when it comes up, what thoughts come up for us, what action or inaction we have or have not been taking, and then the beliefs. We've moved on to shift to think about more of a serving thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs. And now we're going to create your plan of inspired action. So I really want us to start thinking about how we can embody what we've learned or what we've seen today. Now, you may find that you haven't written a lot, and that's okay, because what you're going to do after today is your mind is going to start thinking about this. You start to direct your subconscious mind. So, no worries about the door. So your mind's already going to start thinking about what we've done today, right? So you might be 3 days from now and you suddenly get this aha moment of, oh my goodness, I was bullied at school, and because I was bullied at school, I had this belief that I can't build a community that actually likes me and wants to buy from me. So I haven't been showing up because I don't feel that the community's there, because it's possible for other people, but it's not possible for me. You might just suddenly get that aha moment because your subconscious mind has been sort of directed. So whatever you've learned on the surface level right now in this moment together, know that there's going to be other aha moments that are going to bubble up to the surface. And not to scare you and it's nothing to worry about, but you might get a limiting belief show up. You can go, oh, it's a limiting belief. What would feel better? What would I prefer? That's literally what I say. And I actually think personally, and I say this to my clients, is if you're not getting any limiting beliefs ever show up, then I would argue that maybe you're even not aware or you're not pushing yourself, because limiting beliefs come up when you're ready to work through them. So don't get scared. If you get a limiting belief how's this ever going to be possible for me, or that number's too big, or that's too greedy, that's when you get excited, because on the other side of that is the goal. You actually receiving the goal, right? So if we take that example from earlier of it's greedy, dig into that. Why, literally put this is greedy and then go, but why? But why? But why? So you might go, well, it's greedy to want this, Mum, but why? Well, because other people need money too. Okay, well, but why? Does that take away from me earning? And you can go through this process. So putting in this plan of inspired action. Take a sip of water. So what we want to do is we want to look at everything that you've written today, And I want you to identify one thing that you're going to do to move this forward. So this could be something active and outward, which would be, putting out some income on social media, showing up, inviting a sale. It might be something that's inward, you're going to write your belief on a post note, you're going to put it on your mirror. I want you to just identify one action that you're going to make this promise to yourself. Now, just like you are in a relationship with money, you are in a relationship with yourself. So when you're writing this thing that you're going to do, it's important that you follow through with it, because if you ask a friend to do something and they say, yeah, of course, I will do it, and they don't do it, the trust starts to get broken down. Now, if you're breaking that trust with yourself and with money again and again and again, the trust starts to break and the relationship starts to deteriorate, just like a normal relationship would. So if you say, oh, I'm going to plan that content, now obviously things come up, but it's the actual follow through on it. So if you keep breaking that promise with yourself and with money, that's where the distrust starts to come through. So whatever you write, I want you to make sure you can fully do it. Obviously sometimes things come up, but within reason. I want you to think about, am I actually going to commit to this? So you're not going to get deterred by someone says something this, I don't feel like it. Whatever you write down, I want you to make that promise to yourself. I want you to think about when you're going to do it. So visualization is a very powerful tool. When are you going to do this thing? I want you to think of a time, think of a place. You're going to do it at home, you're going to go to a cafe, you're going to do it in your bathroom if you're writing that on the mirror. Where are you doing this thing? Okay. Really feeling into this. Not overwhelm yourself, just literally writing one thing down. Now going forward, what are you committing to? So that was your action step. That was the thing, you're building up trust with yourself and with money. But what are you committed to doing from this point on? Are you committed to developing income stream? Are you committed to working on your money story? Are you committed to doing a daily money practice? What are you committing to? Are you committing to an offering? Sometimes when it comes to money manifestation, just like I just mentioned about a relationship, it's not just trust, but it's commitment too. It's not saying, like with our business, for example, if things get hard, or if Instagram's being weird or whatever it may be, take the break or go and do something else for a little bit, or whatever it may be. Don't stop. If you truly want something, it's possible for you. But what tends to happen is, you look from one of those graphs where it's like, a typical graph. Just before you're about to receive something is when people tend to give up, because it's the marginal gains that they are not seeing. And the marginal gains are compounding and they're compounding because they're so small, you don't tend to notice them. But it's coming together so much more. Sometimes it can feel like nothing's working, you're sort of just treading water. And I totally resonate with that feeling. And then suddenly it all snowballs. That person wants you to be on the podcast. That person wants you to come and help them with that one-to-one. That person wants you to be a guest mentee or mentor, whatever it may be, right? It's starting to come together for you, but you've got to hold that focus. Holding the focus when it comes to money manifestation is a skill in itself. And then taking action from that place, right? So we have the vision, we hold the vision, and we take action from that place. It will compound, but it's the consistency. The minute you start doubting yourself is the minute you start to go into that limbo energy, not commitment energy. And when you're in that limbo energy, you attract people who are like, should I not do this? Should I not buy this? You want to have people. It's not about convincing people. It's about attracting in the people that are like, yeah, this is for me. And if you're in that energy yourself, you will then attract that kind of thing, that kind of person, that kind of sale, whatever it may be, right? So when we're thinking about what we're committing to, what are you committing to? Are you committing to working on your self-image in terms of money? Are you going to commit to working on a money story, your money blueprint, your income streams? I want you to think about what you're actually committing to. Your business, a new business maybe, who knows, right? So whatever you are committing to, I want you just to write that down. And we're going to kind of close all this together with a little bit of a mini visualization. And what I want us to do is I want us to think about these things that we've gone through today. So if everyone can just take a moment to close their eyes, sitting in a nice comfortable position, I want you to imagine that you are standing in front of two doors. And we're going to take some deep breathing exercises now. I want you just to see those two doors in front of you. So we're going to relax into this moment. We're just going to be mindful of our breath, breathing in and out. Just noticing those two doors in front of you. Breathing in and out. One more breath, seeing those doors in front of you, breathing in and out. I want you to open the first door. Hear it creak as you open it up. You're taking a little look inside. And in that first door is the you from the first exercise that we did. So the personal version of you who is feeling the ways that you felt when you first wrote that money go down. But it's this version of you 6 or 12 months from now. I want you just to notice what is going on in her life. Just imagine you're looking in on her life and a scene in her life, a moment in her life. I want you to notice what money is like and how it's showing up for her. Maybe it looks very similar. Maybe it doesn't feel like much has changed. Taking a moment here, and I want you to close that door and walk over to the second door. Now, before you open this door, I want you to know that behind this door is the version of you who started to believe the new beliefs, who started to feel the new feelings, started to actively think those new thoughts, and ultimately the version of you that changed the beliefs. I want you to open that door and I want you to look in. I want you to see what's different in her life, maybe 6, 12 months from now. I want you to notice how different her energy is. Maybe timelines and timescales have collapsed because you've managed to jump on them and you've managed to make massive change through changing these dominant thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs. You know, she's been looking at ways that she can feel the way that she feels when money comes into her life on a dominant, frequent basis. She's taken that action. She's holding that energy. She's holding that space. She's holding that vision. She believes different things about herself now. She may have the post-its in the mirror or notes around the house to herself, whatever it may be. I want you just to see what's going on in her life. She changed how she believes and how she sees herself in regards to money, and how is that rippling out? I really want you to notice that now. And I want you to feel this feeling of ease and joy and light. I want you to take a step back and close that door. And you're now standing in front of both of them again, looking at these two doors. And here's the thing I want you to realize. In every moment that passes, a moment now, a moment now, a moment now, you get to choose which door you open and which door you operate from. And the aim is not to flip between the two doors, but to stand firmly in the higher version of you. But you can at any moment choose to open a different door. It doesn't matter what has just happened in the moment before now. You are choosing a door with intention. And I want to bring you back to the room now. Taking a nice deep breath in. And before you open your eyes, I want you to decide what door you're going to operate from for the rest of the week. Taking a nice deep breath in and out, being guided by my voice, becoming more aware of your surroundings now, wiggling those toes and fingers, taking a nice deep breath in and out. And when you're ready and you've decided which door you want to be standing firmly in and stepping through, you can open your eyes. How is everyone feeling? Because everyone still hear me. My AirPod fell out at the end there. If you just want to put in the chat anything that came up there with the doors, did you notice different versions of you? How did you find that? Did you find that hard to do or easy to do? The more you think about it and the more you start going, what door am I operating from, or what door am I standing and stepping through, the more you can on a consistent basis step through. So when that problem arises, think, which version of me am I going to operate from? When that person says that thing, or you start to feel that fear or that limiting belief, you get to choose, which one do I want to operate from? And you get that in every moment. It doesn't matter what you've done so far today. Like, don't overthink it. Don't over worry or anything like that. You get to choose in this moment. Stop for a second. So that is today's session. I want you today, in terms of next action steps, is to really think about, you've got that first set of money manifestation, and you've got that where you're currently or potentially were operating from. We started to identify how you want to then going to be operating from, what would serve you better. And in the third part, we really got to choose, and we get to choose in every moment. So the third part really is going to be on a continuous basis. You get to choose which part of you're operating from. So I hope that has helped. Let me know what comes up for you over the next few days. There will be things that come up. Like, remember, you get to operate from whatever version of you that you choose. And I hope you enjoyed it today.
Thank you so much, Chloe.
Thank you, guys. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I was going to say one question I had was so like the what feelings would serve me. So I just wrote down, like, how could you tap into like these feelings more? Really, what is there any sort of practices or things that you can to really sort of embody them?
Yeah, definitely. So for example, one of the things that I wrote down when I like I say do this quite often, but I wrote down excitement. That comes up for me a lot, right? So when money comes in, I'm like, yeah, woo, like this is I'm creating from my aligned business, I'm creating impact, I'm creating income. It feels like exciting and energizing to me. So what I literally do is go, okay, what activities in my business and out of my business can I do to feel that excitement, to feel that energy? So for example, one thing that I do each day is I look at my big vision. That gets me excited. That's something that's very, I guess, like in the business, equally like doing programs and things that really excite me. But out of the business, it's things like cooking, going for my hot girl walks, grabbing my coffee. Like, I get that excitement and that energy. So one activity you can really do is go, what's the feeling? What activities in my business allow me to feel that feeling, and what activities outside of my business allow me to feel that feeling?
Love that. Business and life.
Yeah, because it's not like, let's be honest, right? We all love our businesses, but it's a part of us. It shouldn't be just our only identity. a whole picture, your health, your relationships, all of these things come into it. But if you're looking after those other areas, then your business will thrive as well. So it really is rippling out.
And I find it interesting, like some things that were coming up for me, and then like when I wrote what thoughts would serve me, I wrote loads, whereas I found it a bit harder to write the things that were like about my money goal and stuff. So I was like, oh, maybe that's like a good thing. So
yeah, definitely. And I would look at like this whole practice that we've done together and go, what bit did I struggle with the most? Because that might be like, oh, well, the lack of clarity there could unlock something there, right? So if it's like I've had this before and someone was like, I don't know what my money goal is, and they really struggled with it, and that was the part of their not problem, but part of their journey, because once they understood, what actually did they want the money for, they could connect more meaning to it. Because they're like, oh, if I do that, then I can go shop somewhere different for my weekly food shop, or I get to treat my daughter, or whatever it may be. They can start to see that connection. So it really is about having that connection.
Yeah, using those limits and beliefs to that next level.
Do you think what do you think of my second door? I opened it up and it was like literally money was falling down on me.
I love that.
And I could hardly believe how lucky I was. But then is that also a disbelief thing? Like, I mean, is that a good feeling to have? Because that's not an everyday feeling, is it? Like just it was like winning the lottery. Like it was just falling down on me. Like there was a never-ending supply, and I was just thinking how lucky I am.
I want to pick up on something you just said. You said that's not an everyday feeling. Why not? Why can't that be? Maybe right now, or up until that point, it hasn't been something that can be every day, but there's no reason why you can't have that feeling every day. And in actual fact, that you make that the goal, that actually might be something that unlocks it for you. Because instead of hitting being like, oh, I want to hit 10k, 5k, these random well-rounded numbers, if you go, oh, I want to be feeling that excitement every day, how can I do that? That might be the goal that you'd set for yourself.
Right, thank you.
So if nothing's wrong with it, in answer to your question, it's not unrealistic. In actual fact, I'd question why you think you can't have that on a frequent basis. Like, don't get me wrong, we always have days off, we have seasons in our life and seasons in our business, but there's no reason why you can't feel really abundant a lot of the time, like money coming in from different payment plans or different sources or different I have Stripe come through. I have my Shopify comes through every Monday because that's how my account likes it. It's easier for my bookkeeping. I have Stripe payments that come in all the time. I have Go Colors ones. Your goal might be okay, well, how can I build out more ways in which it can randomly come to me, both expected and unexpected? It doesn't always have to be through your business. Your money could come through unexpected ways, and good unexpected ways as well. Example, I think a lot of people not so long ago, and this is a completely different off topic, but I think that a lot of people got some random money coming through from the government because of the energy thing. It's not obviously going to cover the entire energy, but it's a random unexpected payment, right? So unexpected and unexpected ways.
Anyone else have anything they want to add? Thank you so much, Chloe. And thanks to everyone who joined live. I know there's lots of people who are going to watch on the replay as well, but yeah, thank you so much.
It's lovely to have a different take, it was really lovely to have such a different take on it, and to have the whole energetic side of it. I mean, that's really coming through in a lot of things in my life, and it's interesting to I've touched upon it before with another coach who was saying, that mindset can really affect everything. But that was really lovely, the way that you got us to think through all those different feelings and beliefs and everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I would really recommend you as well, because from what you said so far, is after today, just decide on how you want to feel, and not just with money, because like I said, money is a part of it, but how do you want to be feeling on a day-to-day basis, and allow yourself to even get clear on that, if that makes sense. When you wake up in the morning, money would be a part of this, but how do you want to be feeling? If it's energized, then energized through payments, energized through health, energized through great relationships, like all of these different things. I would get really clear on like how you want to be feeling, because I think that will really help it all come together as well. And thank you very much for saying that. That just, you know, so I think, and also if anyone's watching this replay, and or even you guys, if you have any questions afterwards and you're like, oh, I didn't ask that, like ask away. Like I'm on Instagram, it's Chloe Slade, so you can ask.
Oh, yeah, do you want to, yeah, so yeah, Chloe's at Chloe Slade, and you've got Vibe and Flow as well.
Yes, vibeandflow.com, and on Instagram it's like vibe _and_flow. Didn't get it originally. Had the trademark for the business, but didn't have the Instagram account for ironic. But yeah, any questions, literally just shoot them over, because I know it was like afterwards and you're like, oh, I should have asked that. So I'm here.
Cool. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. I'll chat to you all soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.